of his first letters from the battlefield, Grant shares the homesick mood of his troops when he tells his wife of his own longing for the day when he will once again be with her. If I am fortunate enough to get home. Simple. Find out where your enemy is, get at him as soon as you can, strike him as hard as you can, and keep moving on. To Elihu Washburn in Washington City, the general writes, if you see the president, tell him from me that whatever happens, there will be no turning back. I shall continue to do my duty. Continue crushing this rebellion. On March 10, 1863, from Young's Point, Mississippi, Grant writes this note to his friend Washburn. We are going through a campaign here such as has not been heard of on this continent before. The soldiers see the position of the enemy in front of them, but do not see how they are to attack. Their campground is underwater. Constant rains falling keep the roads almost impassable. With all this, the men are in good spirits and feel confident of ultimate success. From Spotsylvania, Virginia, in May 1864, the general pens this message to Secretary of War Edwin Stanton. We have entered our 6th day of fighting here. Our losses have been heavy. The losses of our enemy must be greater. I propose we fight it out on this line if it takes all summer. June 1864, Grant wrote a short missive to Lee, suggesting mercy for troops on both sides. There are wounded lying exposed and suffering. Humanity would dictate that some provision be made for such hardships. I propose when no battle is raging, unarmed men from both armies bearing litters be sent to pick up their dead or wounded. Lee refused. I ask suspension of all hostilities. No other terms than unconditional and immediate surrender will be accepted. I propose to move immediately on your works. February 1865, to Washburn, Grant writes, everything looks like dissolution in the South. A few days more of success will put us where we can crow loud. accepted. The war is over. The rebels are our countrymen again in the re-establishment of this union. Thanks be to mighty God for men to prove their love of country.
Our next song is Bare Necessities. The Bare Necessities is a song written by Terry Gilkinson from the animated Disney film The Jungle Book. This is a fun, upbeat song that tells you to look for the simple bare necessities. Forget about your worries and your strife. The bare necessities, or Mother Nature's recipes, bring the bare necessities of life. The bees are buzzing in the tree to make honey just for me. The bare necessities of life will come to you. I think you all agree with me that music is a bare necessity. The Huntress March. Here is another great march by Carl L. King. His landmark American music has been preserved largely through the music archives of the C.L. Barnhouse Company. As a general rule, marches should be played in a bold, solid, and aggressive style. It is important not to confuse these characteristics with excessive levels of volume. Dynamics of soft sections and tempo are important for Mr. King, and did not play marches at gallop tempos. We hope you will enjoy this march as the brass starts it out with boldness and excitement, followed by the harmonized melody complemented by a wonderful counter melody and featuring a piccolo solo in the trio. The Huntress March. Our next song is the 4th of July Polka. This upbeat dance-style music was written for, by happenstance, a July 4th concert by the Reno, Nevada Philharmonic in 1993. The composition has been programmed nearly every year since, and the audience joins along in a festive dance on encore performances of the joyous work. Feel free to join us and dance if you desire so. Otherwise, sit back and enjoy this toe-tapping, hand-clapping polka. Our next song is called Gettysburg. On July 1st, 1863, more than 150,000 Union and Confederate soldiers were drawn into one of the bloodiest battles of the Civil War. When it was over, 50,000 men either paid the ultimate price and gave their lives or were wounded for this country. Here is the beautiful theme song, Gettysburg, taken from the movie Gettysburg, which featured some of the most authentic Civil War scenes ever committed to film.
Hold on, stop, wait a minute. Hold on, we're going to be authentic. We're going to be authentic. I know you don't like to hear this stuff. Be authentic. You can't team, you got to be official here. In case you get thirsty while you're conducting. Hold on. Hold on. Wait, turn around, let them see what you look like.
I've learned to be a good sport, because this happens occasionally. Never know what they're going to do to you. No.
Our next song is another march, the Imperial March. This is one of the many marches written by Carlyle King and arranged by James Swearingen. As a composer, King was one of the most prolific and popular in the history of band music. He composed at least 291 works, including 185 marches, 22 overtures, 12 gallops, 29 waltzes, and works in many other styles. The accented notes, the many crescendos, the light staccato notes make this a delightful march to the listening ear. Imperial March.
Okay, I have to comment. If you want to join a band where you can play your best and do your best, but have a lot of fun doing it, please come join our band or one of our community bands. Because as you can see, you never know what's going to happen next. They love to tell the story of how we were ready to play a song one time, and I had announced the song, but among themselves, they had decided to play a different song. So we start playing, and I'm standing there, what are they playing? It took me a while to figure it out. So come join us and have fun and use your talents.
And even bring your kazoo. Even if you don't play an instrument, you can come and just have fun. Enjoy the music. They're going to play one more march for us. This will be our last number.
And I would like to thank Donna on behalf of all the members of the band. She got us all together and was our conductor for this. On behalf of
all the members of the band, I would like to thank Donna for being our conductor. She did a wonderful job for us, and we had a lot of fun. And we should also thank all the hardworking members of the committee that put this together. Ben Jones named them all for you earlier, including Ben, and they're behind the scenes, and we couldn't do this if they didn't do their job.
And thank you for the great weather. Donna was worried it was going to rain. I said, it's not going to rain. It's going to be beautiful. Thank you so very much for joining us this evening. A big thank you again to Ben Jones and the rest of the committee for making this event possible. Thank you to Tom Fontana for his narration to Letters of the Battlefield. And of course, Donna and our wonderful band members who volunteer their time and talents to perform this music for you. Good night.
Thank you very much, Donna, and everybody. And you're the old band director that likes seeing younger students play. After high school, right? We have some in high school. Wow, that's great. Stand up. High school, stand up. I lived across the mountain, but the director of the Blue and Gray Band, Charles Duffield, directed the Blue and Gray Band here in Gettysburg, and he brought
some of his private students over to play in the band. It was mostly a parade band. We played Memorial Day, 4th of July, and it was always a kick to sit there and watch these older people that had graduated from high school, some of them a long time ago, still enjoying playing. And I'm sure that made an impression on me and what I chose to do with my career. So. In addition to your donations, the Gettysburg Brass Band Festival is supported in part by the Pennsylvania Council on the Arts, a state agency funded by the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, and the National Endowment for the Arts, a federal agency. The Gettysburg